Hello, BookTube. I have a little mail for you today on an overcast, fairly cool Saturday that the Bean and I have spent mostly lounging around. So it's kind of a weird feeling to have a little dog who's, she's, hit or miss about going outside. It's very much a breed type thing. Terriers were very much made to be working dogs. They were made to earn their keep, but indoors. They were made to hunt rats and mice indoors, in the pantry, in the cellar, that sort of thing. And to get the benefits of intimate human contact when they weren't doing that. They aren't like scent hounds. I've had scent hounds for most of my life. And scent hounds, might have a kennel adjacent to the house, but they were built to be working outside, far from human habitation. And the same thing with gun dogs, working dogs of any kind, but terriers seem to me to share an aspect in common with toy dogs, which is that they were very much made to be indoor, human-oriented pets. I don't know if that's true. That may be an overreach, but certainly this dog is perfectly okay with hanging out indoors all day. She'll let me know when she wants to go outside, but half the time that she wants to go outside, her initial reason is simply to take care of bathroom needs, not to go out exploring. Which is kind of weird. My beagles, my boys, would let me know when they had to go to the bathroom, but they also would let me know when they wanted to go out for a 10-mile hike. Frida doesn't do that. When we go outside, she's perfectly happy to scoot around right next to me or right in front of me and scream at people to pet her and scream at people that they're not doing their gardening right or whatever, scream at other dogs to stand up straight and walk better. She's not aggressive to anybody. But oh, does she scream her head off during her walk? She said, the humans never mind. The humans get it right away. I've never had a case where someone was afraid of her. Instead, she screams at them. She also has a weird tendency to growl. When she's happy, she'll growl at you. People understand right away that they should just drop what they're doing and snuggle with this little dog. And they find out right away that they're right. She's incredibly friendly. It's just she has a weird way of saying hello. But she's been mostly happy to hang out on the fainting couch with me and I've been doing a massive amount of writing and a huge amount of reading as well, and she's just a wonderful companion for that. But there is some mail, not much, 3 packages, but we've done long mail hauls with only one. Well, the first one is a priority mail package, so it may be that one of you is misbehaving, which would be bad. You're not supposed to send me books. What have we got here? Oh, oh no, it's not one of you misbehaving. Oh, well, the Vineyard Ferry has finally docked. I've been mentioning for a while now, I show you the Martha's Vineyard Gazette every time I get it, every week. I show you it's a broadsheet, black and white newspaper on the island of Martha's Vineyard, off the coast of Massachusetts. An island I have a long, long history with. I've been going there forever and ever and ever. And a long, long time ago, I would chat regularly with the editor of the Martha's Vineyard Gazette, a broadsheet newspaper on the island. Partially, I will admit, at first, so that as an excuse so that I could smooch with his adorable dog. But I also came to love him and to enjoy our talks whenever I was on island for a week, 2 weeks, a month, a long time, a lot longer than a month. And every once in a while, in our walks in the mist down by the ocean or whatever, he would sort of diffidently suggest that maybe I should write something for the paper, a book review. And I always said, no, I'm a reader of the Vineyard Gazette, happy to be so, but a book reviewer, no. And now, 45 years later, I am a book reviewer for the Vineyard Gazette. And every time I've been showing it to you lately, I've been telling you it's the off-season. The Vineyard is very much a summer vacation destination, so the population swells by 10 times in the summer and then dwindles enormously in the winter, and the book supply dwindles likewise. So every time I would show you the Vineyard Gazette, I would say, I don't have a review in this issue. And my editor has finally thought fit to rectify that. I have 2 books here. First one is by Crocker Snow, and it's called Muskegon, Raw, Relentless, Restless Island. So what have we got here? The tiny waif of this island, under 250 acres, is a microcosm of dynamic change. All the island's beauty and blemishes can be seen and absorbed as if in a bottle. Climate change, terrain change, species change. It is a sacred place for visitors over centuries as the winds, tides, currents, and seas rise and rearrange the island's shape. And it has 3 blurbs on the back, including one by John Kerry. So that is one. This is going to be a picture book of this. Yes? No? Why am I not seeing? Oh well, okay. There you've got old newspaper coverage. We're gonna get. You've got these laminated pages. I would think that would mean color photos. Oh no! Oh my! No, this looks even more interesting. Okay. Yes. Okay. There's a scrapbook in the back that has color photos. But it looks even more interesting. It looks like the bulk of the book is history and natural science. Fantastic. Look at that. There you've got diorama kind of the natural distribution of certain wild animals. Fantastic. Okay, this could be a lot more than what I was thinking. At first glance, it looks like just one of those, here is this location picture books, but not now. Not. It looks like it might be more meat on the bones. And then this other one is by Thomas Dresser, and it is Martha's Vineyard in the American Revolution. Kind of a twofer when it comes to Steve. This is going to be kind of easy to do. Oh boy. Oh, fantastic. And this just has all kinds of vineyard minutia when it comes to the Revolutionary War. That's a musket ball and whatnot. Or is that a cannonball? No, it's a cannonball. Oh, fantastic. All right. There's early 20th century West Tisbury patriots reenacting what their grandfathers went through. Fantastic. Okay, so our first package is not one, but two new books that I will be reviewing for the Vineyard Gazette. So maybe in a future Vineyard Gazette in the mail, I'll be able to show you that I do have a review there. Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm going to write my editor a loving note. Thank him very much for keeping me off the streets. Then we have two other packages. They are not going to be reviews for pay. I will probably still review them. But what is this first one? Oh, right. I think the publicist told me about this thing. This is a novel by Simon Jacobs called Stringfellow. Comes out on the first day of February. Stringfellow. There's a moody cover there with a semi-darkened house there on the cover. So what have we got here? I don't have a pub sheet, but we'll... So this is a darkly comic suburban gothic about a malevolent force that targets a group of Ohio misfits, harnessing their angst for its sinister designs. So it's about Jordan Peterson. Something strange is happening to the teens of Adena, Ohio. Mysterious forces seeking inroads, vulnerabilities to exploit, friendships to hijack, untapped rage to harness towards its own ends. Who will serve it best? Claire is abrasive and aimless, embarrassed by her privileged upbringing. Weak-willed David is consumed by a recent breakup and harbors fantasies of violent, cultish orgies. Greg silently wages war against the voices in his head, while his sister Beth goes quietly mad, surrounded by lights. And at the center of this empathetic, naive, sensitive Sarah. The Force wants her most of all. The question is whether she will be the key to its success or its destruction. Eerie, hypnotic, and shot through with dark comedy, Stringfellow is a razor-sharp suburban gothic that cuts deep, exposing the sweating, bleeding truth of how kids become adults in 21st century America. In spellbinding, incisive prose, Simon Jacobs blends the startlingly original and the uncannily familiar, revealing the dark chaos that lurks under the surface of Midwestern suburbia. Oh my, so who is this author? Who is Simon Jacobs when he's at home? He's the author of the novel Palaces and two collections of short stories, Masterworks and Saturn. And he's from Dayton, Ohio. That will come as no surprise, but he now lives in Portland. Stringfellow, gothic contemporary fiction for February. So, although it sounds interesting to me, I'm not going to be touching it. I doubt very much that I will get any mail in the month of December. That is anything that I will put immediately on my TBR. And the rest of the year, you often see that happen. Somebody will send me an 800-page book called Julius Caesar and the American People, and I will put it on my TBR for that night. I will pop it down right away. But most of the stuff we're going to get now is probably going to be for next year. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, this is a mistake. This is a double of Martha's Vineyard and the American Revolution. Okay, so I get it. One was sent to me by Arcadia Publishing, which does those sepia tone little paperbacks that you have seen in their own displays at your local bookstore. If you're in America, I'm sure you have, where there'll be some specific town, and it'll just be the archival history, the pictorial history of that town. those Arcadia Publishing books, when I worked in a bookstore, we couldn't keep them in stock. Everybody who came in is from somewhere. so you could take them straight there. If they didn't know what else to get, you could take them straight there. Not only to buy us out of all of the Arcadia books about all aspects of Boston history, and there are dozens and dozens of them, but also maybe we would have something from their own area, their own neck of the woods, and these things are great for that. This is a little bit of odd because the covers aren't usually commissioned artwork, and they usually aren't in color. I like this. I very much like this as a change. I hope they all do it. But this is a second copy. There you have the Continental forces laying in wait on the bluffs. Great. All right, so I have 2 copies of this. One, I guess, that I do not need. If one of you has an interest, I would think by now, if one of you had an interest or a connection with the vineyard, I would know it. You would have let me know. After all, I appear regularly in the hometown newspaper. I have an extra copy of this. I'll probably just give it to Margaret, since I think the third guy on the right is him. But anyway, there you have it. There was slightly anticlimactic because the third package was a double, but that's fine by me. I'm glad to be on the publisher's radar. So we have Stringfollow. That's a Gothic novel for February. Actually, does sound pretty good. It sounds a little bit derivative. I mean, when the pub sheet says that the author mixes the familiar with the unfamiliar, the familiar is Stephen King and Stranger Things. And so if I were to read this novel, I would be paying special attention to whether or not you're resting on those things. I don't want you to rest on those things at all. If you're the author, Simon Jacobs, I don't want you to rest on those things at all. Yes, they may be familiar, but if I get the sense, even for a minute, that you're using them to get extra mileage out of your story, then you're a lazy storyteller. I don't get the impression from this pub sheet that that's what I'm dealing with here. I'd be willing to bet there'll be almost no explicit echoes of the stuff, the archetypes that we're all familiar with. It does sound really intriguing. And then we have Martha's Vineyard type stuff that I will get to right away. I will get to it right away because it's so good to be back in harness. So that's it. That is the mail today. Today is a tiny bit warmer than yesterday. Tomorrow will be a tiny bit warmer than that. Building up to a couple of days from now when the temperature in Boston will be in the 70s in December. I've done all the commenting that I can do. I don't know if there'll be rain on that day, but that is, we are looking at the peak in this coming week is a day when it's in the 70s in Boston in December. We've had no frost, not the hint of it. We've had barely any, a dusting of snow here and there, but no accumulation. Had barely any rain. But for now, there's at least a crispness in the air, and that's good because I love my fingerless gloves, and I don't get to wear them if it's hot. I'm not Glenn Gould, after all. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.